Welcome back, Game Yard family. Big up one and all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. I must say, I'm really appreciative of the support that I've been getting on this channel. The simple, cost-effective way that you can support this channel is by hitting that subscribe button. Just smash that subscribe button and turn on that post notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we would have uploaded any content on the channel. Please give the video a thumbs up or a like. The like or thumbs up encourages me to continue to share these cricket contents with you. And please remember to comment down in the comment section when you would have watched the video. I know that sometimes it will spark some kind of thoughts in your head. Please share them down in the comment section. We really value your comments, and please remember to share the link with a friend or family so that they can be able to enjoy or benefit from what would have been shared on this channel, right? So at the end of every round in this West Indies championship, this 2025 edition, that we try to collate some statistics so that we can share them with you, so you can make sense of what is going on in the competition. And we call them KPIs, or key performance indicators, right? And these statistics would help us to understand who are performing well, who are performing consistently, and who we think would be eligible to be elevated to the next level, which is the international level, playing for the West Indies. All right, so without further ado, let us get right into the meat of the matter. So after 2 rounds of the competition, the Leeward Islands, they are sitting on top of the table with 45.4 points from their 2 games. They would have won both matches so far. Sitting in second would be Guyana Harpy Eagles on 45.2 from their 2 matches. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are sitting at number 3 with 44.4 points. Jamaica next at number 4 with 29.4 points. They would have won the first game and they would have lost the other game against the Hurricanes. Rounding off the top 5 are the Barbados Pride, and they would have amassed 28.6 points so far. They would have lost their first game against the Harpy Eagles, but they would have bounced back in the second game, winning that game. Right, so that would have rounded off the top 5. So the Hurricanes, they are sitting on top of the table so far after 2 of 7 rounds of matches. All right, so let us move on now to the highest team score. The highest team score would have been scored by Barbados. They would have scored that against the West Indies Academy. They would have scored 581 for 9 declare, right? Trinidad and Tobago would be in second with 504 for 6 declare. This is not the entire match, but highest team score per innings. Trinidad and Tobago also would have made 456 in that game against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. The Guyana Harpy Eagles sitting at number 4 with 382. That was scored against the Barbados Pride. And rounding off the top 5 would be the Combined Campuses and Colleges team, scoring 375 against the Guyana Harpy Eagles. Alright, so now we will jump on to the most run score. by an individual in the tournament so far. Sitting on top of the table is Jason Mohammed. He is in scintillating form, he is in sublime form, right? He would have scored back-to-back centuries so far, and he would have amassed 279 so far in the competition at an average of 139.5, with his highest score of 176. Sitting in the second position is John Campbell from Jamaica Scorpions. He would have amassed 258 so far in the competition, right? He would have scored 250 so far and 1 century, and we can remember that 126 that he would have scored in the second round against the Hurricanes in the first innings, right? And he would have been at an average of 86. Sitting at number 3 is Jamar Hamilton from the Leeward Island Hurricane. He is the wicket keeper, and he is in good form so far. He has scored 250 so far in the tournament, and currently he is sitting on 223 in the competition so far at an average of 55.79, with his highest score of 93 runs. Sitting at number 4 is Jermaine Blackwood from Jamaica Scorpions. He has amassed 214 runs so far in the competition at an average of 53.5, right, with his highest score in the first game, right, against the Volcanoes of 109 runs. And he also scored another 50 in that game. He would have scored 75 in the second innings of that first game. He would have failed to produce anything with the bat in the second round against the Hurricanes, right? In terms of number 5, rounding off the number 5 position is Jonathan Drakes. He would have amassed so far 213 runs with 150 and 1 century. His highest score in the competition so far is 117 at an average of 71 run, right? So let us jump on now to the highest individual score, right? The highest score in the tournament so far was scored by Craig Brathwaite. We know that he would have scored a brilliant 212, right? The first double century in the tournament so far, and that was scored against the West Indies Academy, right? Sitting at number 2 would be Jason Mohammed. He would have scored 176, right, against the combined campuses and colleges team. Sitting at number 3 is Tevin Imlach. He would have scored an unbeaten 126 runs against the combined campuses and colleges team, right, in Guyana, at the Providence Oval in Guyana. Sitting at number 4 would be John Campbell, scoring 126, right, against the Hurricanes. Rounding off the top 5 is Kavem Hodge, right? He would have scored 126, and this 126, as we would have known, was scored in that first innings against the Red Force, where the Windward Islands Volcanoes, they would have scored 166 in that first innings, and Kavem Hodge would have scored 126 out of that 166. So the other 10 batters, they would have scored, just 40 runs between them, right? That was, poor application there, right? So that would have rounded off the top 5. So we will jump on to the next KPI, and that is the highest average in the tournament so far. And sitting on top of the table is Craig Brathwaite. He has an average of 212 because he would have just played 1 game, and he would have batted just 1 innings, right? In second place is Tevin Imlach. He would have played 1 match so far and batted for 2 innings. and he currently on an average of 206, right? He would have scored that magnificent 126, right? And he would have scored a 50 in the second innings of that game as well, right? Sitting in number 3 would be Jason Mohammed, right? His average is currently on 139. He would have, played 2 matches so far, right? And batted for 2 innings, right? And sitting at number 4 would be, Cephas Cooper. His average is currently at 98.5, right? And he would have played 2 matches so far, batted for 2 innings, right? And rounding off the top 5 would be John Campbell. He would have, played two matches so far, batted for 3 innings, and his average is currently on 86 runs, right? So that would have rounded off the top 5 as it relates to the highest average. In terms of most hundreds scored in the tournament so far, sitting on top of the table is Jason Mohammed. He would have, got 2 centuries so far, and the other 4 that round off the top 5 would have gotten 1 century so far, right? So let us move on to the next KPI, which is most 50 and over, right? So this means that you would have scored a 50, and over, but not getting to 100, right? So it is between 50 and 100, So John Campbell would be sitting on top of the table. He would have, made 2 50 and over so far. Tevin Imlach, 1 so far. Cephas Cooper, 150. Drakes would have scored 150. And also Joel Andrews would have gotten 250 so far. Alright, so let's jump over now to the highest partnerships in terms of runs. And that was between Craig Brathwaite and Jonathan Drakes. They would have amassed a total of 228 runs for, Barbados against the West Indies Academy. Sitting in second position are Jason Mohammed and Jid Gole, right? They would have scored 227 runs for the 3rd wicket for the Red Force against the combined campuses and colleges team. Sitting in 3rd position are Kemal Savory and Kevlan Anderson. They would have scored 185 run partnership for the Guyana against the Barbados Pride. Sitting at number 4 would be Amir Django and Cephas Cooper. They would have scored 170 run partnership for the 2nd wicket for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. And rounding off the top 5 would be Matthew Nandu and Tevin Imlach. They would have scored 147 runs for the 2nd wicket for the Guyana Harpy Eagles versus the combined campuses and colleges team, right? So let's jump on now to the bowlers. Sitting on top of the table with a commanding 21 wicket would be Kari Peer. Kari Peer has been having a really good tournament so far, taking back-to-back, 5-wicket haul. And Kari Peer would have, been added, to the records book. He would have taken a career best, 7 for 40 in the first game, right? And he returned in the second game to take 8 for 27. That's just top class bowling. And he would have taken other wickets. I remember he would have taken, I think, 4 for 17 in one of the innings, and also he would have taken a 2-wicket in another innings as well. He has been bowling really, really well, and kudos to Kari Peer. Right, sitting on at number 2 would be Joshua Bishop. He's one of the bright spark for the West Indies Academy because they have not been playing really, good cricket. He has taken, best of 7 for 85. Right, Rakeem Cornwall, he, bamboozled the Jamaica Scorpion in that second innings with some really good spin bowling. Right, he is sitting at number 3. With 13 wickets. Sitting at number 4 would be Vera Sammy Pramal with 10 wickets. And rounding off the top 5 would be Richie Lucknoth from Guyana with 9 wickets. Right? So the best bowling figures in our innings, sitting at the top of the table is Corey Peer. Right? That is no surprise. He has been really bowling well in this tournament so far. He would have taken 8 wickets for 27 runs from 11.4 overs with 4 maiden. Right? And Corey Peer is sitting at number 2, right? With bowling figures of 24 overs, 7 maiden, 40 runs conceded, with 7 wickets at an economy of 1.66. Sitting at number 3 is schoolboy Tamari Redwood. He would have bowled 15.1 overs, 1 maiden, 72 runs conceded, 7 wickets at an economy of 4.74, for the Jamaicans against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Right? We remember that, scintillating spell by Redwood, to help Jamaica to win that first game against the Volcanoes. Sitting at number 4 would be Joshua Bishop, 32 overs, 9 maidens, 85 runs conceded, 7 wickets at an economy of 2.65. Right, against the Leeward Islands Hurricane. Right, and rounding off the top 5 would be Chaim Holder, 16 overs, 3 maiden, 70 runs conceded, 6 wickets at an economy of 4.37 against the West Indies Academy. So let us jump on to the best bowling figures in a match. Right, so we would have looked at best bowling figures in an innings. Now we will be looking on the best bowling figures in a match. Corey Peer sitting at the top again with 19.5 overs, 6 maiden, 44 runs conceded, 12 wickets at an economy of 2.21 against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Right? Joshua Bishop, 53 overs, 11 maidens, 174 runs conceded, 10 wickets at an economy of 3.28 against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Right? Corey Peer, again, Richie Lucknoth in number 4, 28.4 overs, 7 maiden, 92 runs conceded, 9 wickets at an economy of 3.2 against the Barbados Pride. And rounding off the top 5 would be Jamel Warrican, 51.2 overs, 13 maidens, 161 runs conceded, 8 wickets, 3.13 economy against the West Indies Academy. Alright, so let us jump on to the best economy rates. Right, and the best economy rate sitting on top of the table would be Kevlin Anderson. Right, he has an economy of 1.2. Jid Gule, economy of 1.38. Penny Feather, 1.90. And Corey Peer, 2.18. Let us jump on to the most 5-wicket haul in an innings. Alright, so sitting on top of the table is Corey Peer. That's no surprise. Right, he has 2 fifers so far, and the others rounding off the top 5 would have gotten 1 5-wicket haul each. Right, most dismissal. So we jump on now to the wicket keepers. Right, in terms of dismissal, sitting on top of the table would be Daniel Beckford from Jamaica with 7 dismissal. Carlan Bowen Tuckett from the Academy, West Indies Academy, 6 dismissal. Jamar Hamilton from, the Hurricanes, 6 dismissal. Joshua Da Silva, 4 dismissal. And rounding off the top 5 would be Kemal Savory, 4 dismissal. And we'll be looking on the fielders now, right? Most catches in the series so far, Ryan Charles with 6 catches. Demetrius Richards with 6 catches, Shamar Joseph 3 catches, Keran Katoy with 3 catches, and rounding off the top 5 will be Damel Evelyn, 3 catches. Right, so that would have brought us to the end of looking on the key performance indicators in the tournament so far after the end of the second round, right, of this competition, 4-day competition, the West Indies Championship. Right, so we would have seen some outstanding performance so far. Really don't want to get carried away. I really want, what I'm looking for in this competition is some consistency from our cricketers. Right, we don't want to get carried away by a 1 century or a 1 5-wicket haul. Right, I will sum up the whole competition. Right, I will not be carried away by one good performance. We want to see some consistency, all-round consistency from our players. Right, so this is where I will end it for now. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next roundup. Peace and blessings, everyone.